Welcome back to The Big Idea, where we're following some of the most compelling investigations across America. Next up, SUVs. Look, I've got one. I love it as much as the next guy. But when these behemoths start moving, they can be a deadly menace for kids. Let's pick this up with investigative reporter Jim Osmond of CBS 3 in Philadelphia. Welcome, Jim. You know, we've all heard the stories, hopefully none of us firsthand, though, of these huge SUVs, you know, backing up. There's a blind spot. You can't see a little kid behind you. So they've got these beep, beep, beeps. A tremendous, frightening health hazard where kids are getting hurt. Same issue with rolling front.
We're seeing death after death of young children. The front of the SUV, you think about the back. We've heard a lot about those stories about the backovers, but we heard a story about a New Jersey couple that broke our hearts. The father accidentally rolled over his own son, and we figured if it happened to them, it could happen to anybody. The alarm goes off, warning you someone or something is behind your SUV. You've probably heard about so-called backovers, SUVs and their drivers killing children they couldn't see behind them. But what we're talking about tonight is a completely different matter. It's a new problem right in front of you. And this little boy with the face of an angel died because of it. 2-year-old Tegan Bartow rounded out a small and until this summer happy New Jersey family.
You know, it's like a bottomless hole in your heart.
This picture remains a reminder of the dangers his parents never saw ahead.
I'm sure we probably took it and thought, oh, look, he's so small, he looks so cute next to this big truck. He never stood a chance.
Happy birthday to you.
This birthday party would be his last. Jeb Bartow had told his son to stay behind his SUV as he moved it forward.
I moved about 3 to 4 feet and I felt a bump. I knew at that moment that Tegan somehow had gotten in front of the vehicle.
It crushed the boy's skull. The father didn't see his boy over the hood of his SUV and accidentally killed his own son. This phenomenon is called a front over.
You close your eyes, you open, and life has changed.
In a matter of 10 seconds, the boy's memories helped this couple cope.
Remembering the good times. Remembering his laugh. His happy spirit.
I have Susan Auriemma in the studio here. She is one of those faces. She lived the unthinkable nightmare herself when she backed over her 3-year-old daughter in her SUV. Susan knows firsthand the hidden dangers of SUVs. Your daughter, Kate, thank God, you were crying watching that piece. Yes. I mean, that could have been your daughter who, thank God, is okay. Kate, 3 years old last summer, what happened?
I have to stop myself from thinking about what could have happened every day. It's difficult to watch stories like that. I had left the house. My son was in the TV room. My older daughter was coming with me. I was taking her to a birthday party, and a friend visiting us was in the kitchen, and Kate was up in her room playing happily. And when a 3-year-old is happily playing, you don't want to interrupt them. I told her I was leaving the house, and I told my friend that she was in her bedroom. And my friend said to me, do you want me to go up there and stay with her? And I said, no, she's fine. She's playing. She doesn't need anybody to watch her right now. She knows I'm leaving. I got into the car, which was parked at the top of my driveway, which faces uphill. And that meant that I needed to reverse out of the driveway. And the blind zone behind the car is increased as you reverse out of the driveway. As I was driving, I truly had in my mind, there's a story about a pediatrician that lives close by to me who had an unfortunate incident where his son was killed when he backed over him. I had that story in my head. So like you say, you think it can't happen to you. I think I thought it couldn't happen to me, but nonetheless, I was backing up slowly, aware of the children who were in the area playing. I had looked before I got into the car. There were children outside, but I thought that my children were inside and would stay where they were. So I began to back up, and after a couple of seconds, I heard screaming. And my first thought was, wow, the neighborhood children are really playing loudly today. And then I realized that it was screams of terror, not screams of children playing and enjoying themselves. And because of the story that I knew, I stopped my car immediately. I moved the car forward 12 inches. It was what my gut told me I needed to do, and jumped out, fully expecting to come to the back of the car and find my neighbor's 2-year-old or another small child behind my car, and instead, it was my own daughter. She was coming to her feet and crying. Her face was covered in blood. And her clothing was torn. She was bleeding from her shoulder, from her arm, from her legs. It was one of those, you just don't know how injured they are. And she was screaming at me, Mommy, Mommy, why did you hit me? You hit me with your car. You hit me 2 times. Why did you hit me? It turned out a neighbor witnessed the entire thing, but it happened so quickly that she couldn't even get from her house to my house to stop me. I couldn't hear her screams from that far away. But again, because of the story that I knew of, I took those screams seriously. It wouldn't have been on my radar if Dr. Gulbranson had not shared his story.
Thank God she ended up okay. She had
Yep.
abrasions and whatnot. The thing you told me, the one chilling thing, that when your daughter was on the board and the
On the backboard with a neck brace and a trauma team like you see on TV, and literally pushed me out of the way and said, "Ma'am, you need to step back." And I listened while a nurse said, "Is this the woman who ran her child over with a car?"
Well, thank God she's okay.
As if the self-implemented guilt isn't
Listen,
ase
She's okay.
Thanks very
Kate's
much.
doing great now. How old is she now?
She's perfect. She's a little spokesperson for be careful of your children and make sure you know where they are.
Want to say goodnight to Kate?
Good night, Kate.
Well, she better be in bed by this point, all right?
I would hope so, actually.
All right, I want to thank
Thank
again reporter Jim Osmond and Susan Auriemma. More of America Investigates when the big idea comes right back.